What's up, y'all? Down South 77 coming at you one more time. This is 3 Star Draw. This is a channel where I use adult words to talk about toys, primarily G.I. Joe toys, G.I. Joe classified, because that's what I'm into, and if you're here, you're probably into it as well. If not, maybe we can convince you. So, today we're going to be talking about number 90, Jodie Shooter Craig. We kind of know the history on her. She was a kind of a figure from the first issue where she's a nod to Jim Shooter. She was not really shown in the comic. The control panel that they showed in the comic, they had their finger over the picture and it just said Shooter. So we've gotten a Shooter in the past. They brought her in an earlier line after Real American Hero. I think she was in the Pursuit of Cobra line, whichever one it was. I wasn't buying those guys then. But anyway, so this is not our first Shooter figure, but it is our first Shooter classified figure. She's a sniper. She's Night Force. I'm not gonna lie, I've not really been looking forward to this figure. I haven't been clamoring for her. And I've got nothing against female figures. I've got nothing against anything having to do with the figure. I just think she looks boring. I hope when I get her out, my mind changes. That's just my opinion. Everybody has one. You know what they say about them. So I don't really, I'm excited to have her, but she's not one that I was just kicking down the doors going, take my money. Um, I hope my opinion changes when I get her out. So I'm going to show here on the back of the box, in case you've ever wondered what Jodie's box looks like. These are, where'd you go? Yeah, there you are. I find you in the camera. These here, these to me appear to be reticles, which are, if you look down optic sights on rifles, some of them have little different designs that are basically crosshairs. They can be dots, they can be crosshairs, squiggly lines, a bunch of wavy lines, whatever. There's a bunch of different ones. Some optics you can change them. I have one of those optics. Mine is just a red dot. It's just a red dot sight. But I think that was cool. They worked that into the artwork for her, seeing as how she is the Night Force sniper. So we're gonna get her out. We're gonna check her out. My main hope is one. I hope she looks good. I hope she's a good figure. But my main hope is that the quality is there, because so far what I have seen out of this wave, it is not. It seems like they got that stuff better. These figures probably have been made for a long time, but the way they're releasing them to us, at least to me, it appears like the quality kind of went. I don't know. Like the mole rats are in this line, and I've opened 4 mole rats. 3 of them have had arms fall off because of the cuff. I know it's cup. I say cuff. Welcome to the South. So the cuff that holds the shoulder joint in is loose. Then that butterfly, the ball won't stay in, so they pop out. I've got 2 of them are definitely going back. One I am gonna try and fix and see if I can get it to stay by the heating and cooling method. I don't believe in having to do that, but I really like that figure, and I want to have a couple of them at least in my display while I wait on replacements. So I'm gonna try that. It's already bought. I'm gonna try it and see if that will hold it. But hopefully, Shooter won't have those problems. I haven't really seen much in the way of QC with her from people I've watched that have opened her up. So hopefully mine will be okay, and I won't have to send this one back to Pulse too, because I really don't want to. I really want to put her right over there behind me next to Big Ben with her gas mask head on, because that's the head I like for Big Ben. I like the gas mask on him. He looks cool. So anyway, hopefully she looks cool. We're gonna find out. All right, y'all. Here we go. Let's get this bad boy, well, bad girl open. So there we go. Slide her out. Oh, nothing fell out. That's a good sign. And there she is. And there is Jodie Shooter Craig. Get a look at her there. See if I can get some more brighter light there. There we go. So they got the gas mask head on her in the box. That's interesting. All right, we're going to try doing it like this here. Take and maybe not. I used a different pair of pliers last time I tried this method, and I guess I'm going to have to go back to it. All right, well, for the sake of time, we'll go back to doing it the way I don't like to do it here. Well, it probably cut the box. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there she is. Put that over there so I don't stab myself and have to call out of work tomorrow. So there is her artwork. Pretty nice looking. I like that design. Still, I'm going to keep saying it. I know we probably won't get it, but I'd like to see a little touch of color somewhere. Her eyes, or maybe her tack vest or something. Just a little splash somewhere. It's probably never going to happen. I mean, they look great as they are, but that's what's going on with that. So put that over there, and let's clear these little deals before they get lost into oblivion of this room. So let's check her out. So there she is. She's got her gas mask head on. There's that. I don't know. I got mixed feelings on this head. I like it. I don't like it. It's just different. I don't know. It's okay. I think it needs more paint on it than just the eyepieces. But it is it's a iridescent, almost like the polarized, like a snow job. So there is her tattoo, and that looks pretty good. I've seen people say that they're getting tired of the tattoos, but I'm sorry, I like them. I have tattoos, and I know a lot of people that are in or have been in service, and most of them have tattoos, many heavily. So it fits in with the modernization of this line. So there's her hair. She's got her hair in a little pulled back ponytail there, and then the little piece that flips up. Pretty good sculpting. I'm not, there's not a lot to her there. She's got the armor pieces. There's her holster, her belts. Yeah, I mean it is what it is. It's there. It doesn't look like maybe she can store stuff on it. She's got a couple little hooks there. So before I go any further, I got to talk about these. I got to talk about the shoes. So this is one thing. Like, we all saw it with the render. We all saw it when the product come out. We all saw reviews that people have already done. I don't know what's going on with these shoes. They do have a paint app on them, at least. They got like a buckle. So I don't know. I don't know if these are actual some kind of military shoe. I'm sure somebody will let me know. I haven't delved into it yet, quite enough to know or look it up. They don't look good. I was hoping they would look better in person, but honestly, it looks like it's the middle of the night and she had to go out and walk the dog, so she just slipped her feet and do these things that, to me, they look like combat issued Pumas. That's what I see when I see this. Maybe there is some kind of military application for this kind of footwear. I don't know. They've got soles, nothing out of the ordinary there. I mean, I don't know if these are some kind of shoes that make less noise. Maybe they're special ops silent mode shoes. I don't know. I don't like them. They look stupid. I'm not gonna lie. I do not care for them at all. They do, excuse me. They do match, so at least they got that going for them. They match her thigh pads and her holster. They match her tack vest. So they match, but they those are hideous. That's all I know right there. So hang on just a minute. Let's get her foot locker out. Let's set you over there for a minute, my dear. And I'm gonna bust out this foot locker. There it is. Got her name on it. And yeah, we know. So go ahead and get that open. I'm gonna pause it real quick because this makes a horrible noise. So hang on just a sec. Yeah, right, sorry about that. I don't like pausing it, but I also don't like the horrible crinkly noise that these GI Joe Cobra rolling papers make. And I didn't like using the Exacto knife to open that. I usually use scissors because I believe it or not, I do save that for I don't know why. I put it back in these and I put it in the box. I don't know why I keep those things. But don't open those with an Exacto knife. I don't know where I put my scissors. They were over here, but yeah. So let's not do that anymore. So here's her stuff. Here's her extra hair piece. It's got her ear cutouts, and there is her braided hair piece there. That one I don't have an owner obviously, but I like the braided, and I don't think my camera well it might pick it up. That is the ends of it are a little bit lighter. So I don't know if that's a reflection or if she's got it supposed to have it dyed. I do like the braided hair there. It's got kind of the Princess Leia thing. And I've started rewatching Game of Thrones, so it kind of reminds me of Daenerys Targaryen. Which, by the way, it's painful rewatching it because I'm in season 2 and it's so good, but when you know how it ends, it just makes you just not even want to bother. So here's the gas mask. The mask is the mask. What is this? Is the mask? Okay, so that's like that. I wasn't sure. I didn't really. I kind of tuned out on the other reviews I've watched of her. So there's it's this is the Grace Jones variant right here. That's what that is. Strange. It looks better with the head on the mask. But so there's her face. Paint apps on it are pretty good. I am surprised with the paint apps. They do look good on this figure. I don't really see any bleeding or anything yet. I'll I'll look at that a little bit closer when I can turn on more light without glaring everything over. But there's her tattoo on her, as we've seen. I just like the tattoos. So let's see. Let's put on. Man, it just looks like some kind of. I just can't get over that. Serpentor's got to be the worst. So there's that one. There's the braided head. That's the one I like. So that looks good on her. I don't know. From if you got her turned so you can't see the braids, I get Spaceballs vibe. Dark helmet with the flap open. Make way for Dark Helmet. So let's pop that one off and pop this one on, which luckily goes over her ears much better than Zorana's does. But man, those hair pieces on there, you can tell they were learning it there. So that one looks good too. They're not bad. Um, I'm not a huge fan of the swappable hair pieces, but you got to do what you got to do, and it's much cheaper. It's got to be much cheaper than tooling entire heads. And honestly, the more I take alternate heads on and off of these figures, the more I'm just afraid I'm going to crush that neck peg down. So you've got Hans and Franz for your figures, and you're never going to get another head on them next time you do it. So there's whatever that piece is. And oh, that's got to be the holder for her gun because it pegs into her back. So there's her pistol. Um, I I don't mind the pistols in this line. I'm tired of seeing a couple of them, but I don't mind them as much as others. I would just like to get some new ones. So the pistol has got detail in it. It's got the little slightly extended mags, got your blast effect port. This pistol sculpted well. I don't remember who else come with this pistol. I don't keep up with all that because all my accessories go in plastic bags and I don't really change them around much. So there's a knife. It's about as standard as you're gonna get a knife, other than the little curved blade there. So it is what it is. It's got a little bit of it's got a little bit of sculpting there on it that you can see. It's just there's not much to it. About the only thing I can say for it is it matches everything. Clips in there. I do like the curved blade a little bit, so we'll put that in there. We'll put her pistol in there. Now, what I did not do is check all of her posing, make sure she's not going to fall apart too. That's the one thing I was really most concerned about. So she got some little bitty ass arms, don't she? Man, she looks like, remember in the Blair Witch Project when they did the figure thing, like the little stick figure that they left everywhere. Like you go outside your tent and that's sitting there. It's just her in her drab. It's scaring you to death. So at least her arms aren't falling off. So butterfly on her is good. So I think mole rats must have been produced on Monday and Friday, and maybe they made her Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So her joints are a little tight. She does have double pin elbows. I'm not gonna force them. This is straight out. I hadn't heated it up much as I don't want to. I guess one day soon I'm just gonna have to cook a bunch of joes in a pot on my stove. I actually bought a pot just for heating up joes so it would never have to touch food. I bought one today when I went out to Ross, actually looking for bargain basement joes, and I was not lucky, but I did find a pot. So there she is. She stands moderately, yeah, moderately. So she's okay. About what I was expecting. So let's check this bad boy out. This is what everybody wants to see when it comes to having a sniper check, right? So let's slice that. It is moderately straight. That is better than others I have seen. So I got no complaints there. It's straight, actually. Well, it kind of bends up a little bit, but I guess everybody probably likes that a little. This gun, it has some really cool detail in it. It's not a bad looking rifle. The bipod is not functional like some we've seen. So it looks okay. Like it's not bad, I guess. But the one thing is, why does this not have paint apps? Don't tell me it's to match the gray with the Night Force, or like you camo up your gun. This is just it doesn't feel good. It's floppy. From out here, it's all right. Like if you got her on a shelf, but when you come in and you look at it, it just to me looks plain. It could have been great if they would have put some paint apps in it. Paint the stock, paint the scope, paint the bipod, uh, paint the suppressor, something, whatever. To me, it feels lazy. So I'm assuming her mag goes in that way. That's the way it looks. Yeah, okay. So that's our mag goes in. So let's put this thing. First off, I want to see how tall it is versus her. I keep holding them down a little bit. So it's almost as tall as her. So it's not quite as bad as Saw Viper. His was like twice his, or as tall as he was. So let's get this in her hand, and I'm not going to be able to do a bunch of superposing with her because I need to warm her up. So there she is with her rifle. I've seen a lot of people say that this is comically big for her because she is a small figure as far as, she's not bulky. She's a female figure. This is on par with a female figure to me. This arm, I'm not gonna force it, but maybe sometimes you can do that and hold the other end and break them loose a little. So we'll do that, and I'm not really gonna force it much. I'm just gonna kind of do that with it. So I can see why people are buying gridiron weapons for these figures. They some of the weapons are great, and you can tell they put a little thought and a lot of process into them. And some of them just seem like lazy. And as good as this one looked, it's sculpted really nice. But I think the all gray, I just think it's lazy. But you got to do what you got to do. At least she is a new figure, even though she's made up of some other parts. Yeah, at least this isn't Tiger Force Scarlet or whatever. So there she is. The gun, I don't know. People say it's too big for her. I have seen videos of women, females shooting Barrett 50 cals standing just like this, and they are built about like she is. So it's possible. Don't underestimate women ever. Whatever you do, it'll get you. Um, so it's possible she could shoot a gun this big, even from a standing stance. There are videos on YouTube. I've seen it. I promise. I'm not impressed with her. I didn't think I was gonna be, but I was trying to keep an open mind. She's she's just bland. I'm glad to have another female Joe. She just doesn't do it for me, but really neither does most of Night Force. I'm not much on the Night Force bandwagon. I was aging out of Joe's by the time most of the sublines come out, and I know if you look at values now, the Real American Hero Night Force figures are worth a small fortune, but I remember them warming pegs. It's funny how that works, isn't it? So I just never was into them. They weren't my thing. So there is Jodie Shooter Craig. She's meh. I'm gonna put the gas mask head back on her because even with these weird bug eyes, this reminds me of the Crazies. If you've ever seen that movie, if you hadn't, you should watch it if you like horror movies. This reminds me of more of the gas masks that they wore in that. So I will probably put this one on her head, and I will figure out how this goes to hold this gun, and I will put this gun on her back and her pistol and or her knife in her hands, and I will put her on my shelf beside Big Ben, and I probably won't pay her any more attention until I have to dust or just repose my figures. So there it is. My reviews are long. I hope I didn't bore you to death. She's okay. So there she is. Judy Jodie Shooter Craig. Ladies and gentlemen. On the yeehaw scale, I hate to be too critical. I give her a 3. She gets 3 yeehaws out of 5. So yeehaw times 3. Uh, I don't really love her. I don't hate her. There's other figures I like less than her, believe it or not, but she just doesn't do it for me. But at least she is solid. She's not floppy, and none of her appendages fell off when I took her out of the package. So there is Shooter. Yo, Joe!